Hello, everyone. My name is Gwendolyn Bork. I'm the president of Focus for our Community Unity and Support. And we have the Lancaster, Depew, New York Addiction Prevention Coalition. Welcome to our 2022 to 2023 academic school year addiction prevention series. So this is planning part 2. In our previous video in part 1, I went over what we do on the back end to be able to be compliant on the federal grant side and the CDC. By every year, we have to create an action plan that is based on goals, objectives, strategies, timelines, who's responsible, and when. So activities, who's responsible and when. So if you want to look at that, I will show you very quickly what I was referring to. And this is it. So it's more or less 3 pages. It's based on, believe it or not, a logic model. So if you've never heard of that, that is a very in-depth process to help you understand where there are gaps that you need and helps you formulate a process to move forward. But this is it. So our goals are never changing as part of this federal drug-free communities grant that's through the White House Office of Drug Control Policy. The goal 1, increase community collaboration. Goal 2, reduce youth substance use. So based off every goal that we have an objective, and then we have strategies. The strategies that we use that back up our objective are strategies they're called the 7 strategies for community level change or environmental change. And those strategies are also listed on our website. If you go to forourcommunitytoday.org, hit the research tab and then hit prevention science, you'll see those 7 strategies. And those have been proven to be effective for long-term community level change. So anytime that we provide a strategy, we're using data-driven, evidence-based strategies to back up our objectives. And we have to track and measure our objectives, whether or not we have achieved them. So this is the long form of what we do, the activities that we do to back up those particular strategies, the people that are involved with that particular activity, and then by when those things are due. This is the most current one of our 2022 to 2023 action plan. It goes from September to September. And what I'm going to show you now is part 2 of that. So I had explained in the last video what this all means, what is based on, how we do it, and what I do from here is I take all of that and I create a more simplified version of that. Okay. And I put it into a very quick and easy, short document. So hold on, I just want to make sure I got the right one up there. Okay. So this is our goals and action plan. This is exactly what I talked about, but this is the very abbreviated version with a lot of that in-depth detail out. It's digestible for our coalition members, our partners, our volunteers. This is on our newsletter that is sent out on a monthly basis. It's updated always. And this is our metric. This is what we do to make sure that we're staying on track, to be able to meet the goals that we're looking to meet within that year, and to be held accountable for, the government's return on investment for the funding that we get on an annual basis. So you'll see basically, here's our goals. Goal 1, increase community collaboration. Goal 2, reduce youth substance use. Now you see all these things, very simplified, right? All those boxes from the tables are gone. You see our objectives, and you see our 2 strategies that back up each one of those, right? So, we talked about objective number 1, to increase community collaboration. Our objective is to increase the number of parents engaged in the coalition by 2 people by September 23. I mentioned we have these sectors Parents are part of they're one of 12 sectors in the community that the feds say that is what comprises a total community. And we track, how many parents are involved. Kids graduate, their life happens, things get busy, things change, right? So if that is our objective, here's our strategies that are both underneath that, all based on the environmental strategy. So I feel like I should go there. So let's just go there so everybody can see what that looks like. Let's go here. Oh, here's our YouTube channel. So here's what I was talking about: research, prevention science. Here it is right here. Enhancing skills. So these are the 7 environmental strategies right here: enhancing skills, providing support, enhancing access, reducing barriers, changing consequences, disincentives, physical design. This document, if you were to click on that and actually go to the main document, this is phenomenal. And you'll be able to see that. And I refer to this constantly. See those environmental strategies? Yes, that's what we use to be effective. So the 7 strategies for community change is on page 19. So as I mentioned, there's our goals, there's our objectives, and then our strategies line up with that. All right. Planning process, and we're talking about planning. So that's why this part's important. So where did it go? Okay, here we go. So I'm trying to minimize. Maybe we'll make it bigger. I don't know. I'll go back. So provide information. That's things like educational presentations, workshops, seminars, media presentations, public service announcements, brochures, billboards, community meetings, town halls, forums, web-based communications. That's what we're doing right now for this this podcast. Enhanced skills. Those are things like for people that are more or less being deployed out into the community on behalf of Focus to go do the work, foot soldiers or Focus. So those enhancing skills are enhancing the skills of our actual coalition members, partners, volunteers. Those are things like workshops, seminars, or activities designed to increase the skills of participants, members, and staff, technical assistance, distance learning, model programs. We get a lot of our training provided by the Western New York PRC Prevention Resource Center. So they help support us and enhance our skills in doing what we need to do to be good at our work. Provide support is another one, right? To creating opportunities to support people to participate in activities that reduce risk or enhance protection. So those are drug-free events, support groups, youth clubs, things like that. Enhancing access or reducing barriers. These are things like improving systems and processes to increase the ease, ability, and opportunity to utilize systems and services. So think like access to treatment, childcare, transportation, housing, education, special needs, cultural language sensitivity. We actually just submitted an additional federal grant that we'll find out in the fall called the STOP grant, which is to help with reducing alcohol use. And a big part of that was that they wanted, us to focus on disparate populations, social equity. Like, how do we really reach the ones that really need the help, right? We talk about changing consequences, incentives, disincentives, so you're basically trying to increase or decrease the probability of a specific behavior that reduces risk or enhances protection by altering the consequences. So you want to acknowledge good behavior and you want to incentivize that good behavior, right? By recognizing people who are doing right. They're doing a good thing. And for the ones that aren't, maybe they'll get fined. Maybe they'll get revocations, loss of privileges or whatever. We're trying to do more like restorative justice around here when it comes to, maybe in an instance like that, it would be retail access, stores, gas stations or whatever that are selling to minors. Changing physical design, changing the design or structure of an environment that reduces risk or enhances protection. Think like landscapes, maybe more parks, better signage, better lighting. Modifying, changing policies, public policy is a big one. Whether it's laws, local zoning laws, bylaws, school code of conduct, those are all policies. And those are the ones that we follow. So I just wanted to I wanted to at least share with you guys what that looks like. So if we were to go back to the action plan, when you see these strategies, those are the strategies that we're using, right? We're providing information, providing support, we're changing consequences, providing information. So all these things come into play. We write it in the big plan, that action plan that gets submitted every single year. So actually we just submitted our year 5 action plan last week. No, yep, last week. It's due every spring. It's due every March, and it gets reviewed. And then it's also the budget gets reviewed as well, and it gets approved or not approved. And we would be ready to go by September. So we haven't had any issues yet. But I take all that and then I break it down into like bite-sized pieces, right? Like what are the drug-free events that we're doing by providing support? We've got Glow Fest, we got Erie County Fall Fest, we have, Town Hall that's already happened. So Fall Fest, we already did because remember, this is our 2022 to 2023 year. Last thing that's left is Glow Fest, right? According to the action plan. Outreach events, we had support through our prevention partners and our school resource officers at this fall for the freshman seminars. We had vendor table, like an actual table at the open houses for the school districts in the fall, so they knew who we were. We had parent signups, youth signups. We're in process still of these youth recruit events. We just got done with the most recent one at 5 Wits, which is it's kind of like if you've never been there, you should go. It's like a mystery room, escape room, but you don't stay in one room. You go to multiple rooms and you solve puzzles with your team. So super good time. We had about 24 people. So 2 teams of 12 went out and we ended up doing 2 rooms. It was catered by Panera. Fantastic time. So that's in process. I think the next one coming up is going to be our mini golf tournament in June. These community outreach events, these are like our spring and fall impact conferences. Those are a little more business, a little more professional side, bringing in the business sectors, the government sectors, and maybe law enforcement, as well as parents. Those are added to on top of our outreach events, our youth recruit events that are more fun for the kids and the parents. Remember, we always want to get the parents to come. For alcohol compliance, this is again, it's just bullet points, quick and easy. Let's break it all down, right? So we're in the process of, working with our Erie County Community Sheriff's Community Services Program. They'll set dates, they'll figure out, we will work together to figure out locations and, test potential areas of Depew and Lancaster of stores who may or may not sell to a minor. And then for the marijuana part of our action steps for our goals, right? So we want to reduce alcohol use. We want to reduce marijuana use. This is all based on data. We're in the process of doing that as well. So talked about providing information. We're going to be booking billboards. We already have a billboard up right now in partnership with a bunch of other coalitions. It was spearheaded by the All In Coalition on Take It to the Box. There's unfortunately now we have to incorporate marijuana, edibles to keeping drugs safe, right? Because it's still a drug, regardless. It's illegal for anybody under 21 to consume and to use. And unfortunately, we just had this past week a elementary school student from a local school district take a bunch of candies, THC candies, to school. People don't realize, these kids, they look like Sour Patch Kids. It looks like nerds. It looks like, gummy bears, gummy worms, chocolate, right? So it looks like candy to these kids. So if you leave it out somewhere, they're like, "Oh, Jesus, candy! I'm gonna take care and give my friends some snacks." Unfortunately, that's not good for little kids to consume, much less even teenagers to consume. People don't realize the level of THC in these products are very, very high. And, um, unfortunately, any level of THC on the developing brain is no bueno. So, yeah, that's what we're working on here, guys. But, I like to always show how we do things here at Focus, educating you guys, helping you understand this very complicated process is one of my major quests as the president, because it really is hard work. This isn't this isn't where we just get a bunch of money and we throw some events every year and just hope for the best. It is very, very in detail, very in depth. We are held accountable for every single penny that is spent, according to the budget that was pre-approved by the White House Office of Drug Control Policy and the CDC. So everything's tracked, everything's monitored. We have to be very transparent, very on the up and up, and everything that we do has to be evidence-based, data-driven, and for the long-term betterment of our community. So thank you for listening. I'm Gwendolyn Bork. I'm the president of Focus for Our Community Unity and Support, the Lancaster Depew Addiction Prevention Coalition. If you're interested in getting involved, go to 4ourcommunitytoday.org and hit the contact us form. Let us know. We would love your support. And if you're in Lancaster, Depew, New York, and you're a parent or you're a student, even more. We want you even more so. Everybody has a voice at the table. You guys are especially important. So thank you guys. We'll see you next month in our addiction prevention education series.